Welcome back here on FloydHSFootball.com as we're at Florida Citrus Sports High School Football Media Days at Camping World Stadium in Orlando doing this video here for the video podcast and content on FloydHSFootball.com. And joining us right here is the Osceola Kowboys head coach Eric Pinellas, and then we got Jalen Bell and Tavion Swint. And we got both of those guys sitting here, and Coach Pinellas here. And Coach, welcome. And I know y'all are one of the big names everybody wants to talk to, coming off that state semifinal run here. And for y'all, I mean, I know it's hard to it's a heartbreaker to lose to a team, like Lakeland was here in the state semifinals. But I know 2022 set the tone. So now this year, hey. The goal is get to the state championship game, get over that hump. So what have y'all done during the off season to start working to get, what do we got to do better this year to get to that state championship game here in 2023?
Basically, you just went back to the drawing board. We got back in the weight room, got ourselves stronger. Worked on the schemes and things of that nature like that. Just tried to perfect the craft. The standard is the standard, so we're just going to continue to plug along at it until we get ourselves over the hump and win one.
No, absolutely, and everything and like that. And when it comes to playing in Class 4S, I mean, I know it's a little different, considering that a lot of the rest of the Orlando area, especially like Orange and Seminole, they're all Metro, and y'all are in the suburban class. So for y'all, to play in that 4S, but which had a lot of tough teams. What does that say for a classification that really has some really amazing teams like that? Just you guys, Lakeland, Buchholz, Venice. I mean, we could start going down the list of all these great teams that are in 4S.
Yeah, when they broke it up into the 4S and the 4M, I told everybody that the 4S was as competitive, if not more, than 4M. With those schools that you said, add in Venice and Riverview and things of that nature like that. Top to bottom, like Vero Beach. It's a lot of talented ball clubs in there. So, once the playoffs start, you D-land, you have to, be ready every week. There's no cake in the playoffs. So that's why we put together a schedule that we did to be able to run that gauntlet that the playoffs will have for us. We had Treasure Coast, D-land, Vero Beach, and Lakeland in the playoffs last year. So playing the schedule that we did in the regular season prepared our kids for that, and we handled, those games on the road, those big environments in Vero and Lakeland. They handled it, because they've been there. They've been to Jones, They've played Seminole, So, that's why we do. That's why we play the teams that we play in the regular season to get ready for the postseason.
No, absolutely. And let's just talk about that schedule, because the schedule is going to be a gauntlet again this year. You come out, you're week 1, Treasure Coast, week 2, Sanford Seminole, week 3, Jones, week 4, Lakeland. So let's talk about that. I mean, week 5, Rockledge, week 6 is the rivalry with St. Cloud. So, I mean, the
100th game versus St. Cloud.
That's a huge. And we'll talk about that in a moment. The 100th game right there, because I know that's big. I know there's some collaboration going on between the two schools. We'll talk about that here in a moment. But the schedule, just the teams that you're going to be playing here, Mainland, West Orange, I mean, that schedule, there's no off weeks for y'all.
We don't want off weeks. When I was putting the schedule together, I remember after the spring, we were in a team meeting, and the guys were like, "Coach, can we play better teams? Can we play more competitive teams?" Also, as I was sitting there, I was like, you want to be able to bring these competitive teams into Kissimmee, let the fans just be able to see these amazing athletes that these other teams have. So, and that's going to bring the best out of our kids too. So it was a no-brainer for me. So this is the second year of the contract. Look for me to build another schedule kind of like this when it's time to build the next one. So,
I mean, especially after this season, there'll be reclassification again. And,
absolutely,
we'll see where everybody places that in that situation. But let's go to Tavion and Jalen here. And guys, it's senior year for y'all here. Well, it's actually senior for Jalen. Tavion got one junior year, but when we talk about names, you guys have been really lighting up it on the field and stuff. So for start with Jalen, the senior year, Jalen, what's a goal for you this year? Especially since this is your final year wearing that Cowboys uniform, and then for Tavion, what's the goal for you? For your second to last year in the Osceola uniform. So Jalen, we'll start with you there on that one.
My goal this year is to obviously win a state title, but to just gel with the new teammates that we have coming in. We have the big defense. We had a lot of guys go, most of the defense. So I just want to get a good connection with the new guys coming in. Teach them some things, help them, become better men and better football players, and just compete for a state title.
Back with Coach EP left off on, we was like, we asked for like better teams to play. Like he always tell us, like nobody not gonna lay down for us. So we gotta like put our head down and get to working for sure.
No, absolutely, and when you're looking at this, for y'all with the schedule, what's most exciting about the schedule? You're playing competitive teams, and y'all are going to be going up, but a team that y'all Lakeland, the team that you lost to in the state semifinals, a team that, there's been a tradition of competitiveness, and I think there's even a rivalry there in some so to speak about Lakeland. So when you look at the schedule, what game stands out for you the most that you're really excited about this year?
I say Lakeland and Sanford Seminoles, because they say nothing go easy in Bo Keith, so I'm ready to see what that is.
What about you, Jalen?
Yeah, I would have to agree, with Lakeland, Seminole, and Jones. I'm from Orlando, Florida, so, they beat us last year, and I feel like we got a good chance, go 10-0, you know what I'm saying? So that's just a little hump we got to get over that we eventually are this year, and y'all gonna remember us.
No, absolutely. And, Coach, I'm going to circle back to something here for you and on this one, and that's the thing you talked about. That's the 100th game between Osceola and St. Cloud, one of the oldest rivalries in the state of Florida. And I know there's some collaboration going on between the two schools about this 100th game, this 100th meeting of the rivals. And, talk about that, what it means for the two oldest schools in Osceola County. This is the 100th meeting, and, it's huge to say that, a game gets to 100th meeting. That's a lot of schools cannot say that.
Yeah. The two schools are putting together something to make it a special time. 100 years. That's a big thing. I played in it as a player, so it was always a game that we look forward to. Back when I was playing, though, it was a little bit more hatred involved. Nowadays, they haven't beat us in a while, so. Maybe they'll come out with a little extra incentive being at the 100th game. I think we haven't lost to them. We haven't lost to them since, I think, 2005, I think it is, or something of that nature like that. So for us, it's the old timers will be coming back. These games mean a whole lot to them. I don't care where I go in Kissimmee. They always make sure they tell me, you make sure you beat St. Cloud. So it's going to have a lot of their old timers coming back, a lot of our old timers, alumni. Things is going to be an electric night, and we're just going to, try to put on a show for the people of Kissimmee and keep this win streak going.
No, absolutely. And for you guys, talking about the rivalry here between Osceola and St. Cloud, what was it for y'all? The fact that this game, it's 100 years, and y'all get to be, be part of that history of these games. So, what does it mean for y'all in that?
It means a lot, growing up watching Cowboy football, being one of those kids on the sideline, just watching them. I grew up here, I stay right around the stadium, so it wouldn't be too hard to find Osceola versus St. Cloud. And it's just an honor to play in the game, because I have my brothers playing the game, so I just like to carry on that legacy.
No, absolutely on that one.
Yeah, same way, the most important thing that I like about getting ready for St. Cloud on the game days, because it's like the whole school is like, y'all gotta beat St. Cloud, y'all gotta beat St. Cloud. Y'all let them beat y'all, then it's gonna be, So, like, when we play St. Cloud, it's like fun, and it's a lot of like competitive going on.
No, absolutely. And, at the end of the day, it's a new season, a new chapter starts in Osceola football, the program history. And, for y'all, it's an exciting time. But for Coach, for the final question for you, what does it mean for your guys here? You don't only have senior leadership, you got junior leadership. You've got leadership across the board. And that a lot of the programs can say that.
I always tell the kids that the best teams, and they'll let you know, I say this all the time, the best teams are player-led teams. And you don't have to be a senior to be a leader. You can be a freshman, you can be a sophomore. If you want to assume that leadership role, that's fine. But make sure that once you assume that leadership role, you have to be in that role at all times. Now, if you don't want to be a leader, then guess what? We got to teach you how to be a good follower. You're not going to give the leader problems. If you don't want to lead, that's fine, but you're going to follow. And if the leader's telling you something, that's what's going to happen. So that's kind of trickled down to these young men. Like I said, doesn't matter, sophomore, junior, whatever the case may be. We're blessed with some kids that love Cowboy football. They love their community. So they're leading us really well this offseason.
No, absolutely, Coach, and that's some great advice right there from Coach Pinellas right there for anybody watching this. So, Coach, I appreciate you all stopping by. Best of luck to all y'all here at Osceola football this season, and we'll see you under those Friday night lights.
Appreciate you having us.
Appreciate it.
Go Cowboys.
All right. That was the Osceola Cowboys joining us here at Media Day here at Camping World Stadium, Florida Citrus Sports Media Day. The Florida Citrus Sports High School Football Media Days here at Camping World Stadium here in Orlando. Stay tuned on FloridaHSFootball.com for more content. We'll have more for you right here on FloridaHSFootball.com. Until then, see you later.